Welcome. This is A.L. Johnson with Cascade Media Group. I'm here today with Mia Ramsey, the director for the Kansas City Boys and Girls Choir. This is an organization that builds self-esteem in our children through the power of music. How are you doing today, Miss Ramsey?
I am awesome. How are you?
Awesome, awesome. Couldn't be doing any better. So, tell me this. Give me a little history on the Kansas City Boys and Girls Choir. Who created it and why, and what the organization is all about.
I would love to. The organization was founded by my friend Ali Robinson. Ali has been in this community. Listen, as long as I can remember. Just the best guy, the best musician, the best artist. Very professional in his presentation always. And about 26 years ago, he started the Kansas City Boys Choir, and he did so for the purpose of teaching area urban youth how to present well, how to hear, how to listen, how to sing. And his reach was, and his idea was to teach choral and traditional music, all genres, to our children. Most of the time, our children, back in the day when I was in school, there was choir, and they have some now, but our kids are not exposed to a lot of music. And so Ali started this organization with young Black men in mind, keep them off the streets, keep them from engaging in violent activity. And so he started with these young men, and they grew to numbers that were kind of on the same lines. His template was the Harlem Boys of the Boys Choir of Harlem. I'm sorry. And so he took a lot of information and would spend time with their director, just learning how to develop this organization. And he did so. They traveled all over the country. They went to Washington, D.C., they've been to Chicago, they've been everywhere. And so 15 years after he started that organization, the girls were like, hey, we want to be in a choir. We want to do something. We want to be involved. And so um, just 10 years later, he started the girls' choir. And so, with the same ideas in mind, girls are communicators by nature. And so, as that door opened, it just continued to grow. And so I'm grateful because he laid such a great foundation. Their presentation was impeccable. Their sound was unlike any other sound in this region. They were very visual also with their presentations. And so Ali is and has always been a trailblazer. He's always set the tone for what was supposed to happen. And again, 26 years ago, and we're still here. I'm grateful that we are still here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, how long have you been a part of the organization?
Well, that's a loaded question, AJ. I've been with the organization. I'm officially the executive director. I've been that for about a year now. But prior to that, I was with Ali. He and I worked on music across Kansas City for a long time, but we both were board members and actively involved with the Southern Leadership Conference of Kansas City. And so Ali and I have been friends well over 30 years. And so I would go in and I would do workshops with the kids. I would teach music, and at times I would come in and direct or play for Ali. And so I've always been around, I've always been involved. But when Ali decided he wanted to retire last year, he said, I have a really short list and it's you. And I was like, let me call you back. He was like, I said, Ali, I need some time. So, I thought about it. I prayed about it. I talked to my husband, talked to my pastor, talked to my children, and I was like, hey, when I take this on, or if I take this on, it's going to be a big undertaking, but it's, really, he gave me the opportunity of a lifetime. This is what I could do the rest of my life. And so I took it on, and it has been phenomenal. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of work, but I'm so grateful to Ali for the opportunity to serve in this capacity. He could have chosen anyone, but he chose me, and I'm grateful for the legacy that we're continuing, to keep alive.
Well, I can tell you firsthand, you're doing an excellent job. My daughter is
Thank
a member
you.
of the choir, and you're doing great. You're doing great. So
I
keep doing what you're
appreciate
doing.
that.
One thing that I did want to ask you, a biggest fear of even adults is public speaking or being in front of a crowd, the fear of making a mistake or anything like that. And so, can you tell me a little bit about the self-esteem and confidence boost that you've seen in the children within your time working with them?
I will. One of the things that Ali started a long time ago is for every child that would come through, they have what they call check in. And so even at rehearsals, they have to check in. Check in is usually, hi, my name is Mia Ramsey. I attend whatever school. And then there's something special, my age, which I won't divulge here. But they would always have to speak about something special, whatever the question of the day was. And so that's how he began to unravel the fear that most kids, most adults have about speaking in front of people, and it's in front of their peers. And so, we have a no tolerance bullying mantra, if you will, or policy. So no one makes mistakes. No one, mistakes are just things that we need to work on. We don't laugh about, something that's happened unless it's just funny, but we never laugh at, let me say, we never laugh at each other, but we definitely will laugh with each other. I think when I came on, I think one of the reasons that Ali chose me was because I am unapologetically myself all the time. So if I make a mistake, it's going to be funnier to me than it is going to be to you. I'm not that fearful of making mistakes or failing. And I think that's the reality. As parents, I have two children, and I was raised by a single mom. And as parents, what has traditionally been done, AJ, is that we don't show our children our frailties. And so when it's their turn to be frail or fragile or make a mistake, they don't know how to handle it because we don't show them process of, okay, you made a mistake, this is how you correct yourself, this is how you stand up, this is how you look forward. And so I've been very, very vocal and transparent with my children, with my husband. Hey, I screwed up. Hey, I messed up. This is funny. Help me get off the ground. Whatever that is. And so allowing the children, the choristers as we call them, allowing them to see me fail, allowing them to see me mess up. Sometimes I'm in rehearsal and I'm laughing so hard. I'm like, hold on, give me a second because I don't whatever I just did. Hold on. Or, I'll joke with them so that they understand that it's okay. And I think that across the board, we have to show our children that it's okay to fail. We say, we don't fail. We don't make mistakes. And that's a lie. That is a lie. And if we don't teach our children the process of failure, they'll never understand the victory of success. So,
I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. Just like they say in showbiz, the show must go on.
got
And
to.
yeah, this teaches them that, firsthand that you can fall down, but you have to get back up. You have to
Yeah.
keep on moving. And what you're doing is really creating our future leaders because we need people who are able to be bold, whether they're in front of an audience or whatever's going on, they have to be able to be
Yeah.
bold. And so you're
For
definitely
sure.
teaching that. One thing that you did last week, so you guys were out at the NASCAR.
Yeah.
You guys did a performance out there. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And I believe that there's going to be a clip shown on television. What's that all about?
Well, NASCAR, it was our very first opportunity to sing. We were asked to sing for the pre-show. We sung "God Bless America" right before the national anthem. And typically, NASCAR has not been a sport that African Americans have been actively involved in. Now, everybody can rattle off Bubba Wallace's name, who won NASCAR while he was here, just incidentally. But typically, we don't see a lot of African Americans in the race, nor do we see a lot of African Americans attending the races. And so when they asked They had just reached out. They were given our name and of course our organization information, and they said we think it would be a great opportunity for us as well as for you guys um, to have a diverse look at what NASCAR should be. Let's create this visual and this opportunity together. And so our children went out last Saturday. I think it was on the 10th, September 10th. And from the parking lot to the pit row, I promise you, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. Now, I've lived half of my life. And so to be able to say for myself that it was something that I had never experienced was an amazing opportunity. So we get there, and of course, we stand out because we are right now, all of our children are African American. And so they present very well. So we're walking down Fan Walk in a straight line. Just, that's their presentation. They're very poised and they know how to present. And so as we're walking down Fan Row or Fan Walk, and there are two rows of people waiting to get into the place that we're getting in, they're waiting to see the drivers and this, that. And a guy yells out, he was like, "What are you all, a choir?" And I said, "We are. And you too could be in the choir. Let me grab you a t-shirt." And so he's like, "Me, me, 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 me." Now, typically that could have been kind of offensive for somebody, but for me, I don't rattle easily. And I try to stay on my toes because I know that everybody's intentions aren't good. But NASCAR was so very, the Kansas Speedway NASCAR was so accommodating. And so when the kids get to the space where they're doing presentations right before their time to sing, they're introducing all of the drivers. And I get approached by CBS Sports, and they were like, "Hey, we're here because we're doing a series on diversity in sports, particularly NASCAR. And there are a couple more African American drivers that are going to be driving today." And so I was like, "Really?" And they were like, "We would love to have you all as part of this series. Do you mind if we get some video, and could we interview you once you all are, done singing?" And I was like, "Of course." And so just then, the two black race car drivers walk across the stage. And when I tell you, one of the young men, I can't recall their names right now, is number 34 and number 26. Um, but when they looked out, they saw our kids, and he waved them. He was like, "Hey guys." And so our kids were like, "Oh my God, he's talking to us. He's talking to us." And it was like a celebrity moment for them. And they got to see themselves. I wish that I had captured photos of that moment. And so after they did an amazing performance of God Bless America. And when we were leaving, CBS Sports, who had an African American director, producer of this particular series, came over. He was like, "I got to get some information from you. Please, can we have about 5 minutes to just interview you?" And so he was asking us the same thing that you just asked, AJ. What was our experience? And for our children, they were blown away. They were they were comparing, just like I was. They were comparing the NASCAR experience to watching Cars, the movie. And so it was the whole Lightning McQueen. It was amazing. And so to have that reference, and to be able to look in the space that you're in and look around and you see exactly what they portrayed in the movie, I just think it was mind blowing for all of us. Even the staff was like, "This was an amazing experience." And so they've already asked us to appear next year. So
That's
we're
great.
locked in. We're changing the color of NASCAR.
That's awesome. And I hope you all are listening to this. These children were able to perform in front of an audience of over 20,000 people.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, they'll have national television exposure. Another thing that I feel is a benefit is that a lot of scholarship programs are crowded, right? We all rush to sports and all of these different things. And so when we look at that higher level of education for our children, I believe that choirs and choruses,
Yeah.
bands, etc., offer extremely lucrative opportunities for scholarship
Absolutely.
money for our children. And so, for someone who is listening to all of this and they say, wait a minute, I need my child to be a part of what's going on here. How can they contact you? Are there any spots left? What's going on there?
Yeah. Well, let me give you some context. So, with the organization AJ, we have the opportunity as they join, and I want to reveal something, but I haven't revealed it to some of the key people, so I'll wait. But just know there's a major announcement coming in October about the organization. But with the organization, when you join, our age range from 8 to 18, and boys and girls, and we offer an opportunity for scholarship support. So as they go through our program and they graduate high school, they receive a scholarship on behalf of the Kansas City Boys Choir and the Kansas City Girls Choir that they could use toward their books, they could use toward tuition, they could use toward transportation, whatever their needs are for continuing education. Now, typically, it has always been college, but I'm of the belief, especially since the pandemic, we understand that every child is not college ready. And so they may want to take up a trade. They may want to, take some classes. We support any continuing education. And so we've recently relocated. We have a larger venue, a larger office space, but we are a nonprofit. And so there are still things that we need because we have enlarged and God has been gracious and enlarged our territory. We need to make sure that our staff is complementary to our expansion. And so I've had to put some people on so that we can accommodate our growing organization. Now we have kids and parents that reach out to us literally every week saying, "Hey, I'd like for my child to be involved. What's the process?" And so, if you're interested, or if you'd like to make a donation, any information that you need right now is on our website at KCBCGC. So that stands for Kansas City Boys Choir, Girls Choir. So KCBCGC.org. And if you would like for your child to have an opportunity to join us, just click the join us. If you'd like to make a donation, click donation. We have upcoming events that will be posted. We're going to even have an open house here on October 18th. I'll make sure to send more information about that. But we're hosting a listening party because we also have a music and art therapy program. I think that it's important not only for us to be music presenters, but what's more important to me is who are our children before they get on the stage and after they get on the stage. Everyone knows how to act. At some point, you have acted, but it's important for me to know that you are safe and that you are whole before you get on the stage and act. And so we've introduced our music and art therapy program. We will also be teaching American Sign. We want to be able to communicate, and our tagline is "We are more than music," because it goes beyond music presentation, and our focus is the whole child, the whole adult, the whole family. And so if we don't go into the cracks and the crevices of who we are, we can't be as effective as we should be in whatever roles or responsibilities we have as presenters. So the telephone number for our organization is 816-474 sing. That's 474-7464. So I listen, I am taking on as many kids as I can. We'll probably cap out at about 75 each, boys and girls. But if we have to expand, I will make provisions to make sure that no child gets turned away. So, listen, I'm here for the long haul.
That's great. That's great. The holidays are around the corner, and so if we were wanting to book the choir for an event,
Mm,
we can do that through the website as well.
you can click book us. Yeah, yeah. So we do have a lot of opportunities during the holiday to perform. We'll be at Crown Center. We'll be hosting our own Christmas event called Christmas Reimagined. And so if you'd like to book us for a particular private event or, a special event, please reach out to us on our website. But also you can catch us around the city. And if you see myself, we always have staff available that is ready to talk to you, ready to give you information as needed. So yeah, we would love, love, love to add to your event and expose our children to a part of the community they may have no idea about. So yeah, book us, call us.
Yeah, this is a great outlet, again, to teach our children self esteem, to help build their self confidence. As you
Yes,
heard,
sir.
there are scholarship opportunities available, so many things going on. And so we definitely need to get behind this organization. We need to support. We
Yeah,
always say that children are our future, but if we don't invest in our children, we really don't care about our future. And so, one more time, how can people donate? Because I know that that's a big thing for any
yeah,
nonprofit organization, is to bring in the funds necessary to facilitate all the things that you're doing. What
yeah.
are some of your current needs? I know donations are one, but are instruments, books? How can the city get behind you and help?
It's very interesting that you said that. Some of the needs that we have, as a nonprofit, you are at the mercy of donations or grants. And so, what we need for our organization, first of all, is money to help support the organization. So, just general operating funds, just making sure we have supplies, making sure we're able to compensate those that, work tirelessly. Right now, um, we have four staff members that are, if I'm being honest, they're paid on with a love offering. They have been so diligent in trying to make sure that we have been up and running. So that's in any nonprofit. That's usually the largest pot. But for our children, the other side of that is making sure that we have the supplies that we need. So, AJ, I know your daughter is playing in band now, and we have other children. We have people that are playing the harp and the flute and the cello. And so, what we want to do is create a band. And so, we would love to have some instruments donated for private lessons because we do have someone that's able to teach our children privately. What we also need is uniforms. They now Ali made sure they have formal uniforms and casual uniforms, but it's time to update some of those things. And we have new children, and so those things can be costly for sure. Also, I have a big ticket item. So if anybody's listening and can help with this, my big ticket item is we need our own transportation. One of the things that I noticed when we went to NASCAR, when we've gone to Lexington, Missouri, we have to pay for transportation, to carry our 25, staffed organization, and that includes our choristers. And so when you have your own transportation, one, you show up in style. Two, you don't have to worry about spending thousands of dollars to go from one place to another. Now, every now and then you're going to have to charter a bus. But for the most part, we need transportation because now, as we embark on our regular schedule, we have children that need transportation. We have parents that can't always get them there. I can pick them up, but I can't get them there. So could you please come pick up my child? And I would love to pick them up in my van or whatever. But sometimes we need, a staff member that has a CDL or is licensed, and they don't have to have a CDL, but it's helpful to have someone that has gone through the process, that is a safe driver, that has a great record, that parents feel comfortable. Yes, please. And we have a pickup opportunity. So that's my big ticket item, other than just our day to day needs. Our kids need snacks. When they come in from school, we try to make sure that they have snacks, that they have something to drink. We try to make sure also we'll be starting up our tutoring program. So if anyone would like to donate updated computers, we don't even have um, company computers right now, organizational computers. We're all using our personal computers right now just so that we can make sure to maintain what we need. So anything and everything is needed right now.
Well, this definitely is going to be shared on the Cascade Media Group network as far as
Appreciate it.
what's up kansascity.net. We'll also share this with the Kansas City Business Association. And so if you are a business owner, or if you have some extra funds that you know you want to decrease your tax liability, consider donating to the Kansas City Boys and Girls Choir. It's a great cause. We are here in 2022, September. We're on pace for more murders in our city than we've ever had. And these are from young people, these are from our youth. And so when you consider a program that takes these children early and gives them a focus, helps build their self confidence, and gives them goals to reach, and a team and network to support them, we have to get behind that. If we
Yeah.
want the community to do better, we have to do better. And again, if we believe that our children are our future, we have to invest in those children and invest in our own futures. And so,
That's
Mia, I love everything that you're doing. Any
right.
way that we can help, we're definitely here to support. Did you have any final words or anything else that you wanted to share with us before we go?
Yeah, just very quickly, you made mention of the number of murders, our pace that we're setting. I will say this: that most of our children are from the urban core, and where our offices are right in the middle of the city. So we're right off of Linwood and Paseo. We are in the Robert J. Mohart um, multi-purpose center. And I just want to say to the city of Kansas City, to especially Melissa Robinson and the city council, when I reached out and I said, hey, we need a bigger space. Because actually we were in a process of losing the space that we were in because of um, the redevelopment of that particular area. And so the space that we were in was supposed to be torn down, and we had been there for 7 years and didn't pay rent. Just as a service to that organization, they had given us that, but it was also a very small space. I reached out to Melissa Robinson, who reached out to the city council, and unanimously they voted for us to be able to have the space that we have in the Robert J. Mohart Multi-Purpose Center. And so I just want to say, as a city together, if we can partner with the city, if we can partner with fraternities, sororities, organizations like yours, AJ, if we can partner, everybody does a little bit. No one has to do all of it, but if everybody does a little bit, it will be more than enough to sustain us and keep us growing. We want to continue to involve children. I'll give you this really quick story. I have one young man that was like, I hate singing. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. And so I told him, I said, if you'll give me just a few months, just hang with me a few months, I got you. And so his mom comes up to me just a couple of months ago and says, I don't know what you did. I don't know what you said, but he cannot get enough of you and this choir. And even our recent rehearsal, I started playing some music and I saw him over there and his head was bobbing. And I said, this is what you waiting on? He said, I've been waiting on this. And so those children that may otherwise have frustrating moments and take it out on another child or take it out on themselves, this organization is an opportunity for them to have hands-on experience and do something that allows them to elevate how they think and how they rationalize frustration more so than acting it out. So whatever help we can get. But AJ, you are a rock star. I appreciate you. I adore you. Thank you so much for what you do for our community and keeping us informed.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, hey, you all have heard the ask. We appreciate your support, Kansas City. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is A.L. Johnson with Cascade Media Group, and we'll see you again next time.
Program is brought to you by the Kansas City Business Association.